Okay, so Spyder got a bath, ready to go. Okay. Well, I guess our first stop is going to be for fuel, so we'll head down and get some fuel. I'm not really 100% sure where I'm going to end up today, but you can't get a nicer day than this, so we'll just take it as it comes. Where I live in Ontario, Canada, this has been a kind of the end of a week of where things started to try and open up a little bit, and I'm very curious to find out how the population is behaving in terms of groups of people gathering and exercising social distancing, and so we'll sort of just observe that. May has been a very interesting month where I live. We have had everything in the weather department. 2 weeks ago, I was out doing a little job around the house outside, and it was snowing steadily the whole time I was out there. And that was, I think, less than 2 weeks ago. And I'm riding the bike right now. I look down at the dashboard, and the thermostat on the bike is reading 29 degrees Celsius. I find that the thermostat on the bike, or the thermometer on the bike, I should say, is usually reads a bit high by a couple of degrees, so it's probably not quite that warm. Well, let's see what's going on in the good old town of Fenelon today. Ooh, we're lined up to go in the liquor store today. There's a few people down here staying apart. watched a video this morning from another Canadian YouTuber. The name of his channel is Cruisin' Canada, and he was out riding and doing some comparison testing between the Akaso V50 Pro camera, which I'm filming on right now, and a GoPro. And the GoPro has this remote control that can mount on your handlebar. Boy, I wish they could get something like that going for this Akaso camera. The remote control that comes with this is very difficult to use on a motorcycle. So Akaso, if you're listening out there, get on that. I'm pretty happy with the quality of the video and everything that the Akaso takes, but that extra bit of functionality would make a big difference to people that are trying to film while they're riding. The remote control that he uses is not an actual GoPro remote. It's made by a company called, I think it's Telesen, and it just sits right on the handlebar right there, and you can power the camera on, power the camera off, and you can start and stop recording. Handy little device. So we just turned on to Highway 57, and this takes us over through a little town called Janetville, and then we are going to head into Port Perry, and we'll probably take a little break there, and then we'll see how we go from there. So I believe that due to the pandemic situation, that once we get our trailer hitch installed and we can use our trailer, but I think our travel is going to be kind of restricted to Ontario. A lot of the other provinces are still very wary about letting people cross their borders. Certainly Quebec is in that situation in certain areas. And definitely the eastern provinces of Canada are definitely restricting movement in and out of their provinces. So it's going to be a year of just staying local, shorter trips. We are going to try and get down to Essex County, Leamington area, Healy Island, and we may even take a trip up the north end of Lake Huron, kind of the Sudbury area, maybe as far over as Sault Ste. Marie. But the kind of downside of that is that we just basically would go up there and have to come back the way we went, pretty much, unless we go farther north and loop around that way. So we'll just have to see how the summer unfolds. So I just had to stop and do a battery change on the camera there. I'm never really quite sure how long they last for, but when I see the little bars being down a fair bit, I always just go ahead and change it out. So this is called Ski Hill Road, and we're coming out of Bethany north towards Omemee. If I'm not mistaken, it's the childhood home of Neil Young. Or there was a home where he lived in here. As I mentioned earlier in the video, we are getting our trailer hitch installed on the Spyder later on in the week, and I must say I'm really looking forward to finding out what it feels like to drive the Spyder with a trailer behind it. I've heard from other people that it's you can barely even detect it back there, but we'll probably go on maybe a quick overnight someplace just to try and test it out and see how that goes. But I'm definitely looking forward to getting that done. That's going to really expand our horizons in terms of travel. The biggest hurdle towards going away with the two of us on the bike was just storage space. I mean, you're quite limited to what you can carry, and this is going to be a big change for us. So now we're just going to cruise our way back up. We're heading north again now, heading back up, and we're going to come in the bottom side of Bobcaygeon, through Bobcaygeon, and then home to Fenelon. So we're going to take the quiet road into Bobcaygeon as opposed to staying on this highway. It's kind of a slower, gentler ride. And it brings you up pretty much on the south shore of Sturgeon Lake. Now we're just coming up right up on Sturgeon Lake right now. You can just see it through the trees. It's kind of a cool area here. The lake sort of extends on the other side of the road going that way. And when you look at it on a map, it just looks like it's part of the lake. Well, it is part of the lake, I guess. Got Buddy and his Sea-Doo going crazy here. I guess you can go underneath there. I didn't know that. Oh, they've even got a little trail of marker buoys that he's following, so it must be pretty shallow in there. It's a pretty little spot back there. I'm going to double back, I think. I guess I'm going to go here because that car just pulled off where I wanted to pull off. So I'll just go here. And I think I'm going to get a little bit of water myself. This is kind of the joining point between Sturgeon Lake on this side and Pigeon Lake on that side, on the other side of that bridge over there. And this is the main street of Bobcaygeon. And the bridge beyond the set of lights is where the lock in Bobcaygeon, the lock that's on the Trent Severn Waterway. You see these stores are open here. That's interesting. I guess they've got it all worked out. Oh, I know why they're open, because they have a doorway on the street. So all those stores were allowed to reopen this week. I think we're gonna call it a day for filming. So I'm just gonna reach up and turn the camera off here. Thank you all very much for watching, and this has been another video production by Can Am Spyder.